What's up, everybody?
What's
Good to
good,
be
Peasy?
back with you. Good to be back with you. Welcome to the Opps SportsCast. Wednesday, every Wednesday at 9 p.m. We're going live here again. We got a lot to cover. A lot is happening in the sports world, even some breaking news.
Yeah.
Uh, and so, some positive, some negative breaking news, but we'll get into that as well. If this is your first time with us, make sure that you like and subscribe. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. We're trying to get up to 100 subscribers and to keep growing from there. And we appreciate and we love your support. Again, if this is your first time joining us, we're interactive with our community. Feel free to chime in at any point. Uh, uh, leave a message in the comments as we're chatting, and your comment may make it to the screen. And so I'm gonna toss it over to Dave to give a word to our sponsor real quick, and then we'll jump right in.
All right. All right. Thanks, Peasy. I appreciate you, man. All right. So today's sponsor is Opposition Radio. Opposition Radio is a 24-hour internet radio station that offers Christian hip hop, EDM, R&B, reggae, Latin, and pop music. You can check out the Opposition Radio. I'm sorry, at the Ops Radio. I'm sorry, at oppositionradio.live. I'm getting all tongue tied here, man. We got so much news, man. It's breaking news all over the place. I'm staring at this screen, man. My bad.
Yeah, for sure. And
I'm
so a
sorry.
lot
I'm
going
sorry.
on right now. Got the Knicks game going, got the
Yeah,
Mets game
man. I'm
going.
sorry.
We got all
So
the New York sports live and in action. But Josh can't be with us today, but give me a shout out. Let me know who is here with me. Why don't you start us off,
It's
Big
your boy
Z?
Big Z coming back one more game.
Yeah.
yes, sir. It's your boy Dave in the cut, fumbling over my reads.
So, so Josh can't be with us today, but he'll be back here chopping it up with us next week. But of course, it's your boy Chris Peasy. Um, Dave, why don't you throw up the first topic for those who are new? How we operate is that we give a score, whether we agree or disagree with a certain topic from 1 to 5. Five meaning that we strongly agree, one meaning that we strongly disagree, and yeah, then we get right into it. But again, let us know in the comments how you feel about any topic that we bring up. And so, what we get into first, Dave? Why don't you throw it up there?
All right, let's do it, man. We're gonna get into these NBA playoff predictions, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah, my Knicks in the playoffs right now, baby. Let's go. So if you guys have been paying attention, we got four teams left. Four teams left standing into the conference finals. You got the Knicks against the Pacers. You got the Timberwolves against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Excuse
Both of them went live into action. Oklahoma City Thunder capturing game one yesterday by really a blowout margin. And the Knicks and the Pacers are underway battling it out right now in a close contest. No matter who wins the NBA championship this year, it appears that a franchise led by a young star who has never won the championship before will host the trophy this year. The winner will be the new face of the NBA. And so we're going to throw it up on the screen right now from 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3. What do you got? We got Big Zeke at 2, Dave in the cut at 2, and your boy PZ is at 4. All right. I guess I'll take the middle block. Let me throw it to you, Dave, first, and why don't you tell us how you feel?
All right, so I'm gonna go. I said a two, and the main reason I said two is because you have four dynamic young players that are representing each team. You got Halliburton with the Pacers, right? I mean, you could take your pick, but we really know it's Brunson with the Knicks, right? We
Right,
know that. We know that Shea Gildress
Alexander.
Alexander is with OKC, right? And then I'm drawing a blank. Who else have we got? What's the other team?
Ant Man.
Ant Man,
Ant.
Anthony
How
Edwards.
could I forget Ant? We got Ant, right? So we
Boys a
got Ant
baller.
who actually doesn't want to be the face of the league, right? So he said that multiple times, and I have no idea like why. You know what I'm saying? Like why why his representatives would let him come out and say something like that, because it's dumb. He's just like You better off taking money and just throwing it into the fireplace and then burning it up. Um, I said I was at a 2 because none of those guys will be the face of the league. Okay, when these playoffs are over, it doesn't matter who wins, and there's one reason why. There's one person standing in their way, and his name is LeBron James. As long as LeBron James continues to show up every night, uh, faking injuries, uh, carry it. I'm not gonna say nothing about his. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Walking out of press conferences, when he doesn't want to answer questions, um, forcing teams to bring his son on board. These young guys don't stand a chance of becoming the face of the league. Now I will say this: all of them, and included, all of them are worthy of becoming the new face of the league. Okay, I believe that they're all outstanding men. Um, they're young, so some of them have they've been in the media for some things. One of them in particular, but he's young, and I believe he'll find his way. I believe that he'll get people who are more matured in his ear, chirping at him and saying, "Listen, young blood, you gotta, you know, you messing with your money right now." So, um, to round my answer out, none of them. As long as LeBron James is still in the league, not a single one of them will be the face of the league.
You know what's crazy about that take, bro, is that LeBron is not even the face of his own team. He's got Luca there now. That don't do anything for you.
Well, the thing about it is when we say face of the league, right? Every time you turn the TV on and they mention the NBA, when LeBron is playing, who are they always talking about? They're always talking about LeBron James. They don't give these young guys any run, unless it's to talk about when they're going to face a certain opponent. You know what I'm saying? It's like when Brunson is going to go up against Halliburton, but LeBron James commands the full attention of the media whenever he's relevant, and when he's relevant when his team is still alive. But I don't see I don't see there ever being a time where the media or LeBron not being in the news cycle when his team is alive and have games to play. He's always going to be on the tip of the tongue of the media. So,
You know
I
what?
mean,
I mean, you're not wrong. I'll go next, and then we'll throw it to Zeke, I guess. But um, I figure I'll go next too because you might actually convince me here. It was a really good take. You got a point about the Lakers and LeBron James only because just like football, when you hear sports radio, all they talk about is like the Cowboys. It don't matter what their record is; they're going to talk about the Cowboys.
yeah,
Same thing is in the NBA with the Lakers. And so, like, you got a really good point on that. I said four because I wasn't thinking that way. The way I was thinking was like, well, and I didn't even go five because I think the teams with the best shot to win the championship are going to be between the Timberwolves, and I'm obviously biased, the Knicks, and and Oklahoma City Thunder. Even if the Pacers somehow beat my Knicks, I can't see them winning the championship. And so I think the team with the best shot is those three. So I base my answer off of those three because I really discounted Halliburton because I don't think that he can be the face of the league. But I think it's hard to be the face of the league for just this reason is lately we haven't seen repeat champions. In any sport, if you want to achieve the top of the mountain, it usually takes more than one championship to do that. You really want to be the face of the league, you gotta get back there, you gotta repeat. Um, Oklahoma City has a really good chance, but I mean, if the Timberwolves actually can beat the Thunder and then win the championship, I think that would speak volumes about Ant. But I said four originally because I didn't think
yeah.
I didn't think Shea could be the face of the league. I just can't see that. Just because I mean he won the kudos to him on winning MVP today, right? But I mean I just can't imagine the face of an American sport being a Canadian. For me that's hard. I don't think he has the personality to carry it either. He's not very overly charismatic.
Touche.
Um, Yeah, he's not, to me, he's not overly charismatic. He might be likable. I mean, when he gave his speech, he gave credit to his wife, which I think would probably endear him to some fans. But like, I think they may run into the same problem with Shea as they ran into with Jokic, where he's just kind of to himself. He's kind of a quiet guy. He's not, his game is not flashy like a Jordan. You're not getting high flying dunks like LeBron. And so I just can't see him elevate into that level. But the reason I said four is because if Brunson wins, bro, and brings a chip to New York, oh my goodness. And the way that he would have done it, taking a pay cut to allow his team to not get into the second tax apron so that way they can get more players. Oh, come on, that's stuff of legends, bro.
It is.
Legends. And you might see people copycat him, like, man, I want a chip more than I want, just the biggest deal. And he could start a whole movement. If Brunson is able to get a chip, forget it. He's the face of the league. Because the New York media is going to thrust him there, and he's going to become a thing of legend. Um, and Ant-Man is already on the precipice. If he gets there, they've been waiting to crown the man. And so that's why I gave it a four, because I think there's a good 2 out of 4 chance that we get a new face of the NBA. Zeke.
Yeah, I gave it a two because of the four stars that we're talking about, um I really don't see Brunson and Halliburton as that level of marketable.
Mm.
Um I see Ant-Man in the commercials. He has the type of personality that a lot of people gravitate towards, um, sometimes for the wrong reasons. But
Yeah.
people people tend to gravitate toward that personality. He's that level of quote unquote real that people seem to appreciate. He's not trying to pretend to be somebody that he's not for the cameras. You're gonna get Ant-Man, whether he's on the court or in court. You're gonna get Ant-Man. Um, with Shay, I see him in the New Balance commercials. Um, he's what other commercial was he in? I can't remember. But I've seen him. I think it was an AT&T commercial, which is some kind of cell phone commercial. It might have been AT&T, Verizon, whoever. But Halliburton and Brunson just don't seem like they're really all that marketable. I know they had their little stint and they had a brief appearance in WWE. Um, and they even have merch in the WWE shop, which
They
is
got a trading card, bro.
yeah, they got a trading card, they got T-shirts, they got so they have a small footprint in the WWE world. Really not sure how that happened, but other than that, yeah, if Jalen Brunson wins the championship, he'd be king of New York, but I don't see him as being the face of the NBA when you still got Steph around, you still got KD, you still got LeBron, you still got Luca. Um, even some of the teams that you still got Giannis, you still got bigger stars that just didn't have great seasons.
Right.
Um, we say it all the time. It's nice to have stars, but teams win championships. The Knicks and the Pacers and the Thunder and the Timberwolves, they have great chemistry. They were allowed to get them this far. They're on the doorstep again to the NBA championship, playing for a world title. They don't have the stars though. Like you got, like I said, you got Shea. People know his name, but I don't know if he's the one that they want to be the face of the league. Not necessarily because he's Canadian, um, Chris, but um, and even with Ant Man, like I said, he's controversial. I don't know if you want somebody that's that polarizing, where you have people with so many different appearances or opinions of
Yeah.
him on both ends of the spectrum. So, um, it would be nice stories to see somebody new winning a championship or getting their first championship or whatever, but I don't think it's going to automatically vault them to the top of the league as the face of the league.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think like the way that Brunson would have done it is winning clutch player of the league and then getting the MVP. He's had some moments this playoffs, man. He's been special. So I think it's
He's been
possible.
special. He's had some moments, but we've seen people have flash in the pan moments before that get into a championship and then they disappear. If he does it for 3, 4, 5 years, then cool. We can talk. We can revisit this discussion. But one good run when your team is hot and gets to the championship, I don't think that vaults you to the top of the league.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Yeah, I think whoever wins would probably, you're right, have to, get back to that hilltop to really cement it. But I think he would have a crazy amount of momentum. All right, well, leave your thoughts and your comments in the chat, and we can continue the conversation there. But yeah, we got a lot to get into, so let's go ahead and just jump right into that next topic. Dave, why don't you throw it up on the screen?
All right, let's get it, man.
All right. And so this was an interesting. I don't know if you could throw the picture up on the screen as well for the audience. So KD says something interesting in a back and forth on Twitter. A guy said that the best thing that ever happened to the Knicks was KD and Kyrie choosing Brooklyn. So the guy was trying to take a shot, and you know how KD can be a little fragile. He said it took time, but they were forced to restructure, build out organically. And so that word organically must have sat in KD's craw because he says, I don't think the Knicks' success has anything to do with me or Kyrie. An organic NBA team? What does that even mean in professional sports? Now, just for clarity's sake, I would define organic, and for the context of this conversation, as any team whose core stars are grown in house and that their fans witness their ascension. So I would actually still consider or an organic team a team that if they even imported a player, but they weren't considered star level, and then they saw them grow. Because to me, it's not like you're bringing in a hired assassin. You coached them up. You cultivated their growing success. And so, to me, like, did anybody really think Shea would be MVP level when he went from the Clippers to OKC? I don't know. I would say that that was kind of organically grown by OKC, but other teams like a Kawhi Leonard or like a LeBron James for context switching teams would obviously be non-organic. So with that said, Kevin Durant said there's no such thing as organic teams in the NBA. This is a problem that other major sports leagues don't have. One, two, three. Oh man, I'm gonna go four just because everybody went three. Zeke went three. I'm gonna go a little in on that.
You're
And then
going
me
four, and
three.
I'm three, right?
All right. Zeke, why don't you start us off this one?
Yeah, so I don't necessarily want to say this is a problem exclusive to um the NBA where teams don't necessarily build organically. Um, you know what? Now that I
Uh
think about it, now that I think
oh.
about it, it is, I think it is more of a problem in the NBA simply because
Yep.
and I'll tell you why. I actually thought I don't know why I forgot. I had this conversation in my head a couple of days ago. It's harder for NBA teams to build organically because a lot of times teams don't have patience to allow these players to grow into superstars. Um, you want these one and done cats who haven't had time to really mature, um, physically, mentally, emotionally. Yeah, they dominate on the college level, but that doesn't always translate to the NBA. So you have a situation where they get to the league and they may struggle for the first couple 3 years, and they don't necessarily get a chance to shine, or you get a situation where you got one superstar that does shine and they get the super max contract and now you can't build around them. Look at what's going on with Giannis. They won that championship. That was mostly an organic team, but you got guys who ended up getting hurt. He lost Chris Middleton. I'm trying to remember who else was on that team with them, but that was a team that I would say was an organic team. They haven't been able to recreate that. Um, the one team that I look at who has been able to have success with their core stars, I would say would be Golden State. Um, yeah, they won with Durant, but they won without him. And when you look at the constants on those teams that won championships, you got Steph, you got Dre, and you got Clay. They brought in other pieces to help facilitate, but the three main stars, with the exception of that time where they won it with KD, yeah, you had those three. Um, I think I don't want to mention his name because I don't want people to think I'm hating on him, but um, this is the era of teams finding the hot free agent that's getting frustrated with the situation that they're in and trying to throw together a big three or a big two um, instead of growing through the draft. Everybody wants that microwave mentality of win now. You're not allowed to be patient. I look at what's going on in San Antonio. Um, that was also a franchise who was able to have a lot of success with the players that they drafted. They didn't necessarily have to go out and get hot free agents. I kind of miss that because now everybody wants to jump around and bounce around, and it's almost pointless to buy a jersey now because you never know when your favorite player is going to be jumping teams in the NBA. So um, I'm done ranting because people gonna think I hate the NBA. Not gonna say they're wrong, but yeah, it's a problem. The concept of an organic team is seemingly becoming extinct. Now with what we got in the conference finals now, those are organic teams. Will that latch on, or will we have somebody going out to look for the next big superstar? Where's Giannis going to end up? I'm pretty sure wherever he ends up, they might be a favorite to win. I've been hearing a lot of talk about Giannis to San Antonio. I don't know if they'll be able to make that happen or not. Be kind of dope if they do to see him team up with Wemby and some other young rising stars they have down there, and to combine that talent with Popovich, who will still have his hand in the pot. It'd be nice to see what they do, but I wouldn't consider that organic because they had to go out and get Giannis.
Well,
Um,
I would consider two of the teams still in the playoffs right now not organic. The Knicks are definitely not organic. I mean, Brunson, we saw him go from probably not that kind of level to that level. So Brunson, you could consider organic, but OG, you know what I mean? Cat, Bridges, that's not an organically built team.
my
I
bad, I
would say
don't
the
pay
same
attention to the
thing.
Knicks like that. My bad.
Yeah, I would say the Timberwolves, same thing. Rudy Gobert, you know what I mean? Julius Randle, you know what I mean? These are they
So
may not be
y'all
the
help build
star.
each other,
Yeah,
the,
really.
the Knicks and the Timberwolves.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
even took their coach.
Yeah, well, that's true too. So I mean, I would say but the Pacers, I would say that's organic. OKC, I would say that's organic. And so like, they do have. So I think, and I guess I'll go next. But KD, I think he's just trying to justify um his lot in life right now, right? A lot of people see him as like, oh, where you going next, KD? You can't seem to win it. You just keep bouncing from team to team, and you never could take him to that next level because nobody wants to give KD credit for what he accomplished in Golden State because they did it before him, they did it after him, and so people are discounting what he accomplished there, and they're saying, okay, KD, if you're so great, if you're consider yourself a Mount Rushmore player, what can you accomplish, in an organic way where you can build people around you? And he just hasn't been able to accomplish that no matter where he's been. The closest he came was when he was with OKC way back in the day. And so like we don't see this. We see like teams like the Toronto Raptors when they brought in the assassin known as Kawhi Leonard. The Lakers trying to do it and build with all different amalgamations. In their latest attempt being with Luka Doncic. We don't see that in other leagues, and so that's why I voted a four. Is because like you can't really do that in the NFL. Like, I mean, what major? I mean, people try. That's what happened with Aaron Rodgers. It's like, all right, well, let's not build organically. Let's import a star player and let's see what we can do. And that ended up being a bust. But the teams that are great, they built it through the draft. You know what I mean?
I don't know,
Kansas,
man. The
Kansas City.
Philly threw a lot of pieces together.
That's true, but I mean the heart of that team. Well, I mean you can say that with this past season with Saquon Barkley, you could definitely say that. But I mean they did
Didn't they
draft a
go get
quarterback,
AJ Brown wasn't a he didn't get drafted by Philly, did
AJ Brown. That's a really good point. And so I would say like the Eagles are an example of a team that probably is not organic that had success, but in recent memory, usually. The NFL is almost always built through the draft, I would say.
he? Yeah,
You got
the hard cap makes it difficult to go poach free agents all willy nilly.
yeah, and usually the free agents that you get, they can be difference makers to take you to the next level, but they can't be foundational. Like they're not foundational. Like you're not getting quarterbacks in free agency that take you to the championship generally. I can't remember the last time that happened unless we're talking about Tom Brady, but that was like a free agent. It's not even like, like he was at the end of his career and they already had a stacked squad. They just need someone not named Winston to throw 40 interceptions. And so, you know what I mean? That was kind of the difference maker. But usually you're talking about the Bills, you're talking about the Chiefs, you're talking about, the squads, the Ravens, that they've built organically through the draft. Same thing with the MLB. MLB is special because you got the whole farm system. And even if you make a trade to build into your farm system, it's still organic because the fan gets to see the player grow. And I think that's what's missing in the NBA. We're not getting to see that player grow and kind of build up an affection for him, an affinity for him. And so, like when you watch like TV shows, you get to grow with the character. And I think that's what's special in a lot of other leagues that the NBA is lacking as a fan of like a one squad. You don't really get to grow with the character because they're just importing assassins left and right. So that's why I gave it a four. Dave?
All right, man. Y'all said a lot.
My bad.
Nah, it's all good, man.
Hey, we
So
got no Josh. We could go a little bit longer, although
yeah,
Josh
Josh,
is throwing
Josh
it
was in
down
the
in the
Josh
Josh
comments.
was in the
lurking in the
comments. I
comments.
don't
I'm
I
telling
don't
you.
know why.
That's right.
Because
Isn't he supposed to
isn't he
be
supposed
doing
to be
sound?
isn't he supposed to be doing something right now? Josh,
Supposed to be at church.
he's supposed to be at church, man.
Hey, we
What are you
miss you,
doing?
brother.
So let me hit it from this point, man. So organic teams, what does it really mean? An organic team, the way I think about it is homegrown talent, right? And let me cut to baseball, to the Yankees real quick. I love to talk about how um, back when Stick Michael was doing was the main scout for the Yankees, how he bought the core four. He bought us the core members of all the championship teams that we had in the 90s, 2000s. Okay, and so when you look at the homegrown talent that was on that team, yeah, we had some guys that were free agents that came over, right? But since 2000, 2001, the Yankees and Brian Cashman have had one superstar homegrown talent in that franchise in 25 years. Do we know who it is?
Aaron Judge.
Just
Aaron
Aaron
Judge.
Judge, man. In 25 years of trying to have homegrown talent, right?
Oh, and Brett Gardner.
Well, right. Who said Brett Gardner? Was it Josh?
Nah, that was me.
Oh, was it you? I thought it was Josh. Brett Gardner
Nah.
wasn't a superstar, though, man. And he's not
Uh,
going to the Hall of Fame. and I think about that type level of talent, I'm thinking Hall of Fame caliber, franchise changing uh, talent. You know what I'm saying? And so when you look at or when you try to look at organic teams and who can take a team and draft every year and bring guys in that are going to build that organic team and take that team to heights. When you look at it, I think the hardest sport to do that in is the NFL. So the NFL rookie contract is 4 years. I believe the MLB's rookie contract is 6 years. The team has 6 years of control.
Yeah.
So I think for MLB it will be the easiest because they can get these guys and lock them into 6 years. NBA is the hardest because I think only in the first round of whoever goes in the first round of draft, their contract is 4 years. However, they got this supermax thing now where they're trying to incentivize guys to stay with one team so they can get the supermax, right? So I believe you have to have 7 years of service to be eligible for the supermax. I believe it's 7 years with one team, and I think 9 years total to qualify for the Supermax. I think I could be wrong, but I do know that you don't between 7 and 9 years is when you're eligible for the Supermax, and I think the Supermax it incentivizes guys to stay with the team that brought them up or to stay with that team that they've been with the longest. However, you're not going to be able to offer Supermax to three different players. You know what I'm saying? Because the NBA has a cap. MLB doesn't have a cap, and they seem to have the easiest path to homegrown talent. But then when you look at a homegrown talent situation like a Mike Trout, Mike Trout is in purgatory right now. You feel what I'm saying? So
Mm.
Yes.
it's one of them situations. You get somebody like Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette might be lucky because he he's in Toronto, right? And he's homegrown talent. Him and Vladdy, right? But Vladdy just signed his big deal. But Bo Bichette might be able to get out and go somewhere else. But then they lose their homegrown talent. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like the easiest place to have an organic team or grow an organic team would be MLB. I think the hardest is the NFL. Because what happens with the NFL is you got 4 years of control of a player, but then you can they can what is it called when they
They
at the
franchise tag you though.
Franchise
franchise
tag.
tag they can
They
continue to
could franchise tag you
franchise,
forever.
huh?
They could franchise. I mean, look at what happened with T. Higgins. Like the man wanted to go. They didn't want to pay him. They just franchise, and then
Yeah,
they
I mean
finally.
they did it to Kirk Cousins too. So, but the thing with that is that then you're kind of doing the opposite of that because you're franchise tagging a guy that actually doesn't really want to be there. So the first opportunity that he's able to leave, he's going to leave, right? So even if you had him from the draft, at some point you're going to anger him so much with all of this franchise tagging that he's going to leave, and then boom, you got to start all over again. So organic teams, they are definitely a thing. Uh, I think a lot of franchises in all the sports fail at being able to hold these guys together. I think Golden State right now is probably if we're gonna be real about it, I think Golden State is doing the best with it. The Spurs have just historically been good with that. I think Kawhi was the person that kind of broke the mold on that. Josh said he had to show us some love tonight. He was putting some comments up, man. He was putting them on rapid fire. I couldn't put them things up fast enough, man.
I think what's scaring a lot of NBA teams from trying to build organically, what do we hear for years? Trust the process
Yeah,
out of
Mm,
Philadelphia.
mm.
And I mean, they had first number one pick after number one pick after number one pick. Trust the process, trust the process. That process has failed
you can't trust the process when you
miserably.
can't trust the league. The league kept giving them all these draft picks to try to get it right, and what happened?
And they fumbled the bag every time.
Every time, man, you just
Well,
can't
they
trust
kept picking the wrong players, the
They kept
76ers.
picking the wrong guy.
I mean, essentially, the 76ers could have like the Celtics starting lineup if they wanted to. If they drafted better, they could have the Celtics starting lineup, which is just crazy to think of.
Markel Fultz and Ben
Right.
Simmons. And,
guy
Yeah.
who forgot how to shoot, right?
right.
and he got how to care. So yeah,
It's true, man. That's
my
very
man.
true.
Yeah,
Was he even
Oh
in the
man.
league this year? I haven't heard his name all year.
yeah, he was in the league. He was playing for the Clippers. He did better. Hopefully not good enough to trick another franchise into giving him big money, but I guess we'll see.
That's crazy.
I can't imagine any franchise giving him big money.
He
All
got
right.
drafted in 2016. Dang.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into the next topic, fellas, shall we?
All
Let's
right,
do
let's
it.
do it, man. You ready?
We had some good conversation on that.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so PGA friends or foe? And so the, actually, I like the way that you framed it, Dave. Like you had it framed really well on our inside chat. So I'm gonna read that.
All right, go
During the
ahead.
2025 Masters, Rory McIlroy was paired with Bryson DeChambeau. Bryson says that Rory didn't say a single word to him, which Rory says nothing more. Uh, which Rory says nothing more than him being laser focused on winning. This type of behavior is toxic, unsportsmanlike, and shouldn't be tolerated in major sports leagues. Let's throw up those numbers. One, two, three. Oh man,
Oh.
we need Josh here to be the contrarian. Josh,
Josh
where
would have
you at?
said
I
three because
got
I
you.
really
So
don't
everybody was
know.
for the radio heads. Everybody picked one. So I was PZ was at a one. Big Zeke was at a one, and I was at a
That's
one.
scary.
But let's
Bro, I
talk
thought
about it
Dave, I
because we
thought you
might
was
have
talking
all
more.
varying opinions on it. Let's talk about it though.
Okay. I guess I started off. First off, shout out to golf. Got a topic on golf, right? But I will say this, man. Like, I respect Rory like crazy for doing what he did, just because, like, to me, that's what you want to see. In golf, it's a gentleman's sport, so they're not used to seeing this kind of like competitive juices flowing. At least not since Tiger was in the, in his heyday.
Right.
But to me, this was like, bro, that's the kind of stuff that gets people to the television. Oh, you coming with that kind of intensity, bro? Yeah, I'm gonna watch, right? Like if when it means that much to the player, to me it makes the stakes higher and it means more to me as a fan. Like if you don't care, you're laughing, you're joking, you're buddy buddy, like I mean, really, like what we doing here? I'm talking, cutthroat competitive. You know what I mean? Like when you see the start of a boxing fight and they have the press conference, the best fights are they're throwing chairs, they're trying to push the trainer aside. Let me at him, let me at him. That's the kind of competitiveness that we need. And so, shout out to Rory McIlroy for bringing the kind of intensity to golf and putting major other athletes in other leagues on notice because we don't see this from these players. They're two friends. They know each other from AAU ball, right? Or they knew each other in college, and therefore you know what I mean. Like nah, man. Like we talking Kobe type savage, where he was in the playoffs and just threw Paul Gasol, his Lakers teammate, to the floor because we ain't on the same team no more. I'm Team USA. Your team Spain. I'm coming at you. That's what we need. So shout out to Rory McIlroy. Zeke, you want to throw in?
Yeah. So there's some background to Rory and Bryson. In the 2024 U.S. Open, one of the majors. Rory was winning coming down the stretch. He was paired with Bryson, and he was winning the tournament. Um, and had an epic collapse, and Bryson came back and won the championship. And then when they had a exhibition match, Rory was on the practice range and he made a comment, something along the lines of he'd like to go up against Bryson to kind of make up for what Bryson did to him at the U.S. Open. And Bryson came back and he was like, "Well, honestly, you kind of did that to yourself."
Mm.
So Rory kind of laughed it off, but I've said this before. Rory grew up watching Tiger. And anybody that knows anything about Tiger, Tiger will hear you, and you may think he'll forget. Tiger don't forget nothing. Um, like MJ said in the Last Dance, he took that personally. So when Rory was paired up with Bryson in another final round of a major with the lead, um, he spoke to his sports psychologist leading up to this tournament, and he had it in his mind that if I get paired up with this dude, it's all golf. Ain't no chit chat. Ain't no hi, how you doing? How's the family? None of that matters. I'm here to rip your heart out. I'm not about to let my guard down and let you take this one from me. And that's what he did. Must have bothered Bryson because I believe Bryson shot like a three over in the final round. He faded from the competition quick. Rory ended up having to win it in the playoff with Justin Rose. But yeah. I have no problem with this, especially in one-on-one sports, because you determine the outcome. You're playing in golf the way it's set up. If you have a lead in the tournament, in the final round of the tournament, you are paired with your closest competitor, at least at the start of the round. Stuff may happen where you might be end up going up against somebody who's in a different group, but at the start of the round, you know who you have to beat. You know who your closest competitor is just because of how it's paired. You look at tennis, you know who your opponent is. It's you and the other person across on the other side of the net holding a racket. That's who your opponent is. Other team sports like basketball, football, hockey, yeah, you have your superstars that can take over a game, but I mean, in team sports, teams win championships, so a lot of times you're going to be relying on other players to help you out, and you don't necessarily have to have that laser focus that Mike had or that Kobe had. You'll see players being a little more buddy buddy these days, but in the one-on-one sports like golf and tennis and things like that. I don't mind players. We can talk afterwards. We can meet afterwards and go out to dinner if you want. As long as you're okay with getting your butt kicked on the course, because I'm out here to win. I'm not out here to make friends. I'm out here. Rory was going after the career Grand Slam for I believe the 11th time. He had been trying to accomplish that for so long, and he wasn't about to let this slip away. And if that means hurting Bryson's feelings and not talking to him for 4 or 5 hours, that's what's going to happen. So yeah, I don't have a problem with it at all. It's not toxic. It's not unsportsmanlike. He didn't cross the line of being disrespectful. Um, so yeah, as long as you have respect for your opponent and respect for the game, I don't care if you like me afterwards because I didn't talk to you or not. It's not that serious. You try harder, beat me next time. Don't worry about if I'm talking to you. Worry about hitting the ball in the water, or hitting the ball out of bounds. If you had the same focus as Rory had, maybe you'd be holding the championship and not him. So yeah,
Good, Dave. Get in there.
get in there.
All right, I agree 100% with all what both of you said. So, I've never really been a fan of all the chummy, you know, going to dinner during a playoff game with the opponent, and to me, I mean, it goes without saying, man. I really don't have to get too much into it, but if you're out there to rip someone's heart out, like competitively, not literally. Um, I think it's nonsense, man, for your opponent to think otherwise, to think that, you know, yeah, this is my boy off the field. Why is he treating me like this on the field? It's almost kind of like a soft take. It's almost like a soft mentality. Um, like, what do you like if you feel that way yourself? Like, what are you going to teach your kids about competitiveness? You know what I'm saying? It's like, we're going up against our friend, and we're going to compete, but if you happen to interact with them, or you happen to end up one-on-one with them on the field or during a play, just remember you guys are friends. It's like, nah, man, I'm gonna let them know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let them know, from all the street football from when we were younger or whatever. We were at the Diamond at the rec center, and I took you deep. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna remember, man. It's not who's the boss, who's that one. Now Z, you look like you in your feels about that. Like what's you got must have some
Nothing.
history with that, man. What's
No, you good. You good. Keep going.
okay? Because I was super competitive with my friends, man. Like we talked a lot of smack, man, and it's like the whole idea was to be a neighborhood legend, man. You wanted your friends to remember you. You know what I'm saying? Now me, I wasn't a football player. I played, I loved playing baseball in the neighborhood, but once in a while they would drag me out there with the Nerf ball and we would play. And man, one Saturday, man, we out there, this dude threw this beautiful bomb to me. And this one of the kids out there, his older brother was out playing with us, and his older brother was checking me, and I burned him. And somebody threw me this pass, man, this beautiful pass. I never dove for a ball, man. Because I was like, man, we just playing. I dove and caught this ball, man. It was a touchdown. When I went to get up, his older brother had these steel toe boots on, man, and he tried to jump over me and kick me in the side of the head, knocked me out cold, man.
Damn.
That's the legend, man. The legend was Dave, man. You remember when you caught that ball, man? And Scott's
And
brother,
then got kicked to sleep.
you feel me? But it was like those are the things that you want. I mean, you want those stories. You want those legendary stories. You know what I'm saying? It's like, especially when you're going up against your friends. I caught the ball and I held on to it, but I got knocked out. But everybody remembers I caught the ball. And it's like when Rory goes up against, his opponents, they're not going to remember them smiling and stuff. They're going to remember who won and who lost. And then if Rory is too chummy and he loses, they're going to say he was soft. He went soft on him. He out there playing around and talking and acting all buddy buddy. So the media and the public they want both sides. They want it both ways, man. They like I think a lot of people are out there are like, oh, they're friends. They of course they're competing, but they're friends first. It's like that's nonsense, man. You out there to rip your opponent's heart out and to win, no matter who's across from you. Y'all remember when Ray
Yo.
Lewis hit Chad Ochocinco and almost killed him?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then Chad went over to him trying to talk to him, and Ray was like, "Get off me, man." You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He didn't want no part of it, and he was like, it was like he didn't. It was like Chad. He didn't know Chad, and Chad owed him money, man. He didn't care. But then after the game, it was all love. You know what I'm saying? But that's Ray Lewis is the epitome of that.
Right.
Look, I remember the story that LeBron, I think it was LeBron, D Wade, and maybe Chris Bosh all told this story. They were on the Olympic team. They were playing against Spain. And Kobe said,
Kobe
I know
Bryant,
what play they're going to run.
the
Powell's
first
going to come
play.
through, try to set this pick, and I'm going to run through his chest. And they were
Yep,
like, yeah, right, you're not going to do it. That's your brother. Now, Paul Gasol and Kobe, they're like brothers.
yep,
They were like brothers, all right? And they ran the play just like Kobe said. And when Powell came to set the pick, he ran clean through him. And Powell didn't take no offense to it. He was like, you know what? That's my brother off the court, but that's my opponent on the court. I know his mentality. He ain't mean nothing by it. He just letting him know it's game time. I'm not going soft on him, my best friend. So what you think I'm gonna do to the rest of these fools?
right.
So he sent the message to his teammates and the other team that it's game time.
He
That's
sent it
that's the type of
clear and
mentality you
early
gotta
too.
have, man.
Yeah, he sent it clear and he sent it early, man. And that's how you got to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. Because that was the same example I used. I think that's exactly it, bro. We need more of that competition. There's a lot to cover in current events, and so let's get into the weekly roundup before we wrap up.
All right, let's do it, man.
Good conversation today, fellas. All right,
Yes,
so
sir.
it's somber news. And Dave and I's favorite team is actually the Indianapolis Colts, and it's owned by now deceased Jim Irsay, who died today at the age of 65. As a big Colts fan, I actually went to see the Colts play earlier this, or actually earlier or late last year, because it was this a regular season football game in November. And it's a beautiful facility that they got there in Indianapolis. And as soon as you walk into the airport, there was big signs with Jim Irsay's face all over it. He had like a band that he used to go to local bars out there and play like the sax and what have you. But he struggled quite a bit with his own sobriety. He was like literally found nearly dead once. He was arrested once for driving while intoxicated, and so he struggled with substance abuse, and so they haven't released the cause of death. But we wish him and his family, all the prayers, love, and support, and as they go through this tough time. But shout out to Jim Irsay. I mean, he did bring us one championship in Indianapolis, which is more than what I could say about a lot of sports owners, even some that I root for. So shout out to Jim Irsay. Dave, you got anything to chime in on that?
Nah, man, it's just very sad because we both know, how much he struggled with substance abuse, and just when you thought that he had it beat, then you would hear about, them doing a welfare check on him or something like that, and found that, he was high or he had been binging on, drugs or whatever, man. And it's just really, it's just kind of, it's a tragic end, man. To we don't know what happened, but I'm pretty certain that his health probably wasn't that great from years of abuse and of alcohol and drugs and whatnot. Um, it's just a sad story, man. It really is. And from what I understand too, like this is his father dealt with the same thing, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah.
now his daughter will be taking over the team, and you know, for Colts fans, it's a sad day. Um, but from a professional standpoint, the team will be landing in good hands because his daughter is well respected and well liked. Um, just prayers up for the Ursay family at this time. So,
You know what? I will say one thing, just because I mean this is broadcast on a Ops radio, a Christian broadcast. It's just another prime example of money in the end doesn't buy you happiness. I mean the man struggled um with substance abuse, and you would think someone who had that kind of riches and that level of success personally in life, although a lot of it I believe was kind of handed to him, wasn't it? Then his father
yeah,
also.
yeah.
And so, like, that didn't bring him the joy and peace that you would think if he was dabbling with those kind of, body and life altering substances. Um, he had his own music group, he had his own football team, and still, he chose to dabble in those kind of toxic behaviors. And so, um, hey man, the joy and peace is found only in Jesus Christ, I believe. So, shout out to those who know the truth. But um, in other news, and we're gonna pivot a
Easy.
little
Hold
bit
on a
here.
second. I didn't mean
Go
to
back.
cut you off, but what you said was like very very beautiful and pretty much word for word what I was about to say before you jumped in and started talking. So
Oh, word?
it's nice to know that every now and then we still be on the same page sometimes. But yeah, good job.
My man.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
whatever. That
Uh,
was my time to shine, Peasy.
my bad. And so, we'll segue from time to shine to Shay, and Gilgis Alexander, that is, winning the 2025 NBA MVP. Shout out to Shea. He beat out Nikola Jokic, who incredibly, it seems like every year Nikola Jokic seems to have a better season, and it's just they're like, well, we can't really give it to this guy again, can we? And so Shea ends up winning it. I saw a post that was saying that his season was very similar to one of Jordan's MVP seasons, statistic wise. So we'll see what he can do to kind of cap that season. But Guys, your thoughts?
I'm just glad it wasn't Joker.
What about you, Dave?
It's like that, huh?
Well,
Yeah,
I think
man.
he's not alone in that. I mean, he's not wrong to feel that way. I think that's probably why Shea wanted it. I think there was a Joker fatigue. And
Yeah.
so,
I mean, you look at the man led his team to the number one seed in the West. Like that has to count for something. Like best player, best team, arguably the best player in the league. Yeah, Joker put up his numbers, but where's his team? They were what, fourth,
bro, they
fifth,
took
fourth?
him to the seventh game. And if it wasn't for Aaron Gordon getting injured, I think they probably would have won. So, like,
But they didn't.
So who were the top three candidates for MVP besides Shea and Joker?
Who was third? Donovan Mitchell? I don't know.
It's a two
yeah, I
man
don't know.
race.
It
It
was a
literally
two-man
was a
race,
two
bro.
man race.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad Joker didn't win it because, like, the speech would have been boring. He probably would
Very
have left the
boring.
trophy right there on the podium. He just like,
Like, oh, I'm supposed to take this home?
it's like,
I already got two.
right.
Right.
He's like, I think I'll take this home and melt it down and make some fishing weights with it. Right?
That's
That's pretty
that's
much
your
how he
face in
acts.
front of the NBA there.
I've never seen somebody so popular be so uninterested in the profession that he's involved in.
His
He just,
brothers have more personality than he does.
it's crazy, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, nasty.
I mean, this would have been great if Josh was here. Maybe if he's still listening, bro. The tush push
We got to come up with
survives.
another name for that. Like they're 0 for 2 with names for that play. It was
Yeah,
the
I don't
tush
even want
push,
to
and then it was the
put it on
brotherly
here. I don't even
shove.
want
The
to talk about
brotherly shove, the tush
Come on,
push.
man. Why
I
why can't it
mean,
just be a quarterback sneak?
Josh, your Eagles, they're
it. It's
allowed to
cheating. That's it.
continue this nonsense. Which I mean, to me, I don't care. I think they should. I personally, I believe they should have been allowed to continue it. That any team can do what is essentially a quarterback sneak, just with a little more emphasis. For those who don't know, the tush push is where you kind of like quarterback sneaks it, but you got your offensive lineman, your running back, you know what I mean, all pushing on the quarterback to get him over that to get him that yard. So I
It's
think the
suspect
vote
at best.
was,
Let's just leave it at that, man. I'm just
bro, the vote was 22 teams. 22 teams voted that they should not allow the tush push. But ironically, the vote required 24 teams to vote,
Wow.
and they were 2 teams shy of getting the tush push banned. And
because
so,
you like
Well,
saying that, man.
I think he does. He's just been rapid fire.
bro, listen, it's not my team that does that. That's Josh's team. You can take that up with Josh, okay?
You
He's
know
the one
what? I
that
almost went
celebrates and
somewhere, but
enjoys
let's get
watching
to
that
the
team.
next topic in the weekly roundup before I get us in
All right.
trouble.
So, in other
All right,
news,
so
we
Ronald
got
Acuna. Let's talk about Ronald Acuna
Yeah,
Jr.
stop dancing around Ronald, man. I
Yeah,
see
man.
you
We're
just
gonna talk about Ronald Acuna Jr.
conveniently skipped over that.
Yeah.
who's Acuna. You mean
You
the
nervous?
only Acuna I
Well,
know?
he's nervous about that next
He
topic. That's what
nervous.
it is.
He
Nah, nah,
nervous.
nah, nah, I'm good.
The
I'm good.
footsteps are
Smooth
coming,
as
baby.
So yeah,
other
so
side of the
Acuna's
pillow.
headed back. He's making strides. I'm sure he'll be back in Atlanta in no time. So happy about that.
End of the week, probably, possibly.
Wow, that's what's
Just
up.
saying. Y'all had a chance to bury us. The league messed up and let us hang around.
Yeah,
Now
I
we
mean
getting
The Mets are struggling right now, but like, bro, like
hmm
had a chance to bury you. We're 1 game out of the best record in the National League. Like
Uh-huh. How many games are you ahead of us though? Not that many.
it's early in the season. I was never worried about that.
Exactly. I look, you've
I
had
knew,
bigger leads against us
bro.
and we walked you down like Kendrick did Drake. So
Did I ever say the Atlanta Braves were buried? I never said they were dead and gone because I
because
know
you've learned from the past.
because it's so early in the season. If this was like
hmm
September, I would have been like, all right, time's running out.
You lost leads in September too, pimp.
But you know what, Z? What did that do for you last year, though?
What did it do for you?
Bro, we made it further than the Braves. It
Come
don't
on, man.
matter whether you know what, but
Let's not use that one.
Please don't.
ironically,
That's the mantra of a loser. We made it further than you.
You know
Did
what
you
that's
win?
called? That's called insanity. To equate misery is insanity, bro. You can't
listen,
say we made it further than you and you're still lost, right?
That's like all the Bills fans at my job who were, oh, at
bro,
least we made the playoffs. You played
there's
one
only
more
one
game than
winner
us.
every
Woohoo!
single year. There's one winner every single year. And so like, bro, like the if you're gonna do that, I mean the Yankees haven't won in over a decade, bro. So like what are we talking about here? So like
Time out though.
that doesn't mean that you got a decade worth of we don't care about that squad. They could have had a good year and you
Yeah.
celebrate the good year that they had. You might hang a banner because you won the division or you made it, past the wild card round or what have you. You still celebrate it, man. We all sports fans here. Only one team ends up winning. But hey, I mean, if you're gonna make it to the playoffs, all that matters is making it to the playoffs. Usually in the MLB, it's the wild card teams that go the furthest lately, anyway. And so, the regular season is a marathon. It don't matter. Let's keep moving. Juan Soto's weekend in the. Oh man, you put this up there. You put this up
Yes, I
there.
did. How you like it?
Juan Soto's weekend in the Bronx. And you know what? What's crazy? I'm gonna take this in a completely different direction. Yankee fans are some bitter fans, bro. They are some
Nope.
Tell
bitter
me
fans
why, Chris.
because
That was
I'll tell
dope.
you why. I'll tell you why. It's because they're talking about lies and nonsense, trying to create like, yo, this is like literally fake news coming out of the Yankees media right now. They're talking about how my man Juan Soto flies on private jets when it's demonstrably and provably false that is not the case. Traveling with the team, he can't fly on private jets. That would be against the CBA. But you got Yankees, media talking. Oh, he's miserable. Look at the face of a guy who's miserable with the Mets. Yo, they're just so jealous. They just hating.
The
Like you
only
can't
time I
get
saw
over
him
the fact.
smile all weekend was when he was talking to Aaron Judge.
Bro, they can't get over the fact that he chose the Mets over them. And they're gonna really be
He
bitter about
he
it.
can't
But
get
here's
over the
the
fact that
thing,
he chose the Mets over them.
bro. He's gonna be with the Mets for the next 14, 15 years, whatever it is, bro.
4.
It's fine. He'll be fine. And he's still doing decent, even though he's not on his normal A game. He'll be fine. Juan Soto, don't worry, we got your back. Orange and blue. Let's go, baby.
Okay.
Oh, Chris.
Orange
Let
and
him
blue
have it,
sky.
Dave. Let him have it.
Let me ask you this really quick though. Did he or did he not get dragged into the office, right? To talk about why he didn't run out a ground ball. This dude making $800 million, man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, real talk. That's baptism to New York because New York that might fly with the Washington Nationals, that might fly with the Padres. That won't fly in New York. You wanna
No,
you wanna lollygag to first base, the fans are
yeah.
gonna let you hear it. And so, yo, bring him in. He's got to learn New York. Welcome to New York. This is this
Hey
is this
Dave,
is your learning
did he
curve.
have that problem with the Yankees? I mean, he was in New York last year.
Nah, he was hustling, man. He was doing his
Okay,
thing.
cool.
Nah.
He was doing his thing, man.
The only reason y'all didn't notice it is because we ain't paying no attention to the Yankees until
All
until
right,
until the
if
World
that's it,
Series.
you can.
Didn't
If that's
nobody
what
care
you want
about the
to.
Yankees in the regular season.
If that's what you want to say, man,
Whatever helps you
I
sleep
don't
at
know,
night,
man.
pimp.
Come on, man. Let's not
Wait a
let's
minute,
not
why are we
do this.
talking about the Yankees last year anyway? Did they win the championship? Didn't someone in this chat just say they didn't win the championship? It don't matter. It don't count.
Oh
Why are we
yeah,
talking about last year?
I fully stand behind that, man. Fully,
Oh, okay.
man.
All right. So last year don't matter. It don't count, right? I got you. All right.
Nah,
So who cares if they make the World Series? On to the next topic. What's this Juan Soto? We ain't talking about no Juan Soto.
I think we covered everything, man.
We covered it.
I think you're good, man.
All right. All right.
I think you're safe, man.
I think Mark safe from Yankee conversation nonsense. Check mark.
Check mark.
Orange and blue skies, baby. Everyone, thank you in the Sportscast universe.
Hey, but hold on a second.
My Knicks are up by
I'm not
2 points
gonna
right
let you get
now.
away that easy, man.
What are you talking about?
I heard that little dig you made about, we haven't won it since what year?
I said in over a decade.
Over a decade. You thought I was
They
gonna let
said at
you get
least it
away
was
with
this
that?
millennium.
You thought I was gonna let you get away with that, didn't you? How
You know
dare
what, man?
you?
We need. I mean,
How dare you,
bro. But did you
Dang.
win it last year though?
Chris?
So according to you, that's all that matters. Take that off the screen. I'm trying to get my face in the screen right now. All right. I know where's Josh at when you need him? We need him operating this, man. You can't be throwing stuff up like this. You can't be
Josh would
throwing
have
stuff
stayed
up like
Switzerland
this.
on this
Hey
one. You know
yo,
he don't get involved in our baseball
yo, shout out,
conversation.
Nah, but
shout out to
Josh don't
Chat
put up this kind
GPT,
of
man.
stuff either.
Shout out to Chat GPT, man. Chat GPT gave me exactly what I wanted. Gas was 93 cents a gallon the last time you guys won it. This is what your trophy looks like right now from '86, right? Yo, you like how they put 93 on his jersey for the 93 cents right there? It's crazy. That's diabolical, man.
Z,
Don't roast my
why?
Lakers, man.
What?
We always gonna win.
Okay.
I'm done.
Anyways,
Just get used
welcome
to
to the
it.
Opps
The Mets are always
SportsCast.
gonna be little brother,
Make
man.
sure that you like and subscribe. Join the chat down below. Help us get to 100 subscribers. Yeah, we're gonna keep coming at you every single Wednesday at 9 p.m. So make sure you let those know. And yeah, thanks for joining us today. Make sure you leave some comments in the chat. We might talk about it next week.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you
But for
guys.
Big Z, Dave in the cut, Chris Peasy, peace.